Hey guys, I'm so happy that I get to share this with you. This is one of the most exciting assignments that I have seen because I'm always happy to share what God's done in my heart. But this song that is a hymn is one of my favorite hymns of all time. And the reason it's one of my favorite hymns is because a lot of times we go through tragedy and trials and things that happen in our lives and we don't understand them and we don't know how to deal with them. But God is with us, being in our hearts. He's able to help us to get through these hard times. And I can say that because I've been a Christian, I've been raised in church, and I've been saved since I was 14 years old. And I can tell you that I've been through some things in my life, but not one time has God ever failed me. I've always known that things are going to be okay because God is on my side. And I knew one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, this is King James, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." And I'm glad that when we look to him, he shows us which way to go in life. This author knew this. He trusted God, and he had faith in God, and he went through it. He lost his son when his son was 4 to scarlet fever. Then a year later, a massive fire, the Great Chicago Fire, swept through town and tore up all his real estate property. And 2 years later, he sent his wife and daughters to England to go to a meeting, and he was going to come down and meet them there. Well, on their way down, their boat sank, and he lost his 4 daughters that were 11, 9, 5, and 2. So then he found out that his wife was still alive. They found her and rescued her. She was unconscious, floating on a plank of wood. And when she got to Wales, she sent him a telegram that said, "Saved alone." So after he got his message, he went to meet her. And on the way there, the captain of the ship called him up there, and he showed him the charts and told him that that's where his daughters had died. And it was then that he returned to his room and wrote, "When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul." He knew it was going to be okay because he had Christ in his heart. This wasn't the end of their devastation. They lost another son later, but they spent their life following Christ. They went to Jerusalem, they took in homeless people, and they helped the poor and needy people there. And that's what they spent their life doing, just showing the love of Christ to people. And that's why this story is so tremendous, because we go through things, we think we're not going to make it, but then God shows up and shows us, "I can get you through this. You can do all things through me because I am your strength." And that is one reason I love this song. Another reason that this is my favorite song is because, number 2, in the verses it says, "Let this blessed assurance control that Christ has regarded my helpless estate." Christ regarded my helpless estate. When I was lost and I needed him, every time I've needed him, he has always regarded me, and he's never once disregarded me. And the 3rd verse says, "My sin, oh the bliss of this glorious thought, my sin not in part but the whole, is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Not part of my sin, but all of my sin was nailed to the cross, and he died for me. And when he did that, all my sins were forgiven." So I'm thankful that God thought enough of me to do that in my heart. And I'm glad it's well with my soul. And I hope it's well with yours.